What's up, everybody? Just here. This is gonna be another one. It's gonna be two parts because of how long it is. Well, actually, it's two videos, but the total is over 15 minutes. And it's apparently dramatic reading of Sweet Apple Massacre. I have no idea what that's about. I just saw it once that Fluttershy loses her innocence, and where it said for do not Google Bad Dragon, and Fluttershy does it, and I still haven't looked it up, and I'm not gonna, because I'm trying not to, although it's so tempting. By the way, one guy posted this at the video, and now I wanted to watch this, so I decided to make a reaction of it. Might be able to do a reaction for the Bad Dragon if I get tempted enough. But yeah, I don't think I can because it's on Google. You have to Google it. So anyway, this is Dramatic Reading, Sweet Apple Acre, Part 1 by Mike the Microphone Zero. You're probably thinking Mike the Microphone because that. Oh, it might be him.
Oh, I bet as you were sitting there in your ugly, wuggly little bed, thinking to yourself,
oh, yay, Mike forgot to do Sweet Apple Massacre, yay!
The hell?
no, I did not. I was just waiting.
Hang on, let me pick this out of the way.
Today's topic is going to be called Sweet Apple Massacre. Many of you are familiar with this, and I am going to make it fantastic because I am going to do the voices to the best of my ability. So strap yourselves in. Shit's about to get very, very real. Here we go. Sweet Apple Massacre.
Can't wait till I'm done because my arm hurts.
Big Macintosh surveyed the many apple trees that made up Sweet Apple Acre. It was nearly apple bug season once again, and it looked as though they would be having a bumper harvest this year. He nodded satisfied.
Also, the guy that posted it said that this was worse than Bad Dragon. So I'm seeing what it's like.
His sister Applejack walked up beside him.
Oh, boy, howdy. I sure am glad that nature did oh,
She said,
wow, there's even more apples on them trees than last year.
"Yup," Big Macintosh replied in his characteristic manner. "There's a lot of apples." Applejack was silent for a moment, enjoying the feel of the slight breeze against her blonde mane.
Say,
What the hell?
you see that?
Oh, right, it's that pillow scene from Slumber Party. Also, if you want to see something messed up that is the Rule 34 or it's R34, I have no idea what it is. I've asked people to PM me it. None of them want to. None of them wanted to message me it. I have no idea what it is. I'm thinking about Googling it. But it's rated 18 and up. It's called Banned from Equestria. It is a game. You can play it on a computer, or you can just look up people playing it. Do not look up for Ratchetness, because he doesn't exactly. I think he plays it, but he doesn't actually show it. There was one video where I actually did show it. So continuing, I might do this a few more times just to talk, so you can hear the story and me. Yeah, didn't unpause it.
Apple bloom anywhere, have you? I've been looking for her all day, and she ain't nowhere to be found.
Big Macintosh shook his head. "Sorry,
Census. Nope.
Darn, that silly filly's probably gone off somewhere with her friends. I just hope she ain't getting herself into any mischief, or else there's gonna be hay to pay."
He's pretty good. Got an email.
replied, "I'm sure she's perfectly fine. But anyway, I need to get back to the barn. I gotta go fresh some apples for some of my home-brewed apple cider. I hope picked a few apples earlier, especially all nice and plump and ripe. They ain't gonna press themselves." Applejack laughed.
Sure do.
I never saw that episode.
Just make sure Apple Bloom don't get her hooves on it again. We all know what happened last time.
Big Macintosh chuckled along with his sister. "Yup."
I forget which episode was it. Which season was that? 3 or 2? I forget what episode Twilight went crazy in. Do you think you could put in the comments what it was? This way I can watch it, because I do have all 3 seasons in my favorites. I think it's down far at the bottom, but I don't remember exactly where it was at. Damn, it's loading again. Well, time for my quick solution. Just going back by 10 seconds. Fixes it every time. I don't think I pressed it. There we go.
Don't you? Just make sure Apple Bloom don't get her hooves on it again. We all know what happened last time.
Big Macintosh chuckled along with his sister. Yep. The large red pony trotted back to the barn and gently closed the door. He opened a trap door with his mouth and went down the steps into an old, disused apple cellar.
My butt hurts.
It was just filled with junk, scrap metal, old worn-out plows, old rope, and various other bits and bobs that had outlived their usefulness. Big Macintosh often came down here when he wanted to get away from the world, to withdraw for a little while for some peace and quiet. Today was different, however. The old rope, at least, had found a new use.
That's funny. Kind of looks like him as a kid. Kind of looks like he's Philly.
Bound and gagged, propped up against the wall.
Like what?
3 pairs of scared, round eyes looked up.
What did I say?
Space where Apple Bloom had the world to withdraw for a little while for some peace and quiet. Today was different, however.
That's still funny.
The rope, at least, had found a new use. Because in the cellar space where Apple Bloom and her fellow cutie mark crusaders, Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, bound and gagged, propped up against the wall. 3 pairs of scared, round eyes looked up at Big Macintosh as he approached. Now, then, y'all 3 fillies, he said, placid as ever. Y'all gonna learn a lesson. You need to learn not to mess around with Big Macintosh. I want me some peace and quiet.
Okay, I think it's
said,
raping.
Looking directly at Apple Bloom. The little red-haired filly cowered under his gaze.
I have no idea why I'm thinking rape.
It's a quiet life without all y'all cutie mark crusaders running around the place making with the noise. When I'm finished with y'all, there's gonna be no noise from you ever again.
Oh, what's still thinking rape?
Macintosh approached. Scootaloo flapped her wings, struggling to get off the ground. Big Macintosh laughed and grabbed one of her wings. He twisted, at first slow, watching the pain visibly grow in her eyes. But then he tore hard, smiling slightly when he heard the snap and the muffled whimper that came from Scootaloo.
Damn.
He then threw her to the ground. Your wings are useless, you silly filly, he said pleasantly. He then went to a toolbox and took out a rusty knife with a jagged blade and dropped it in front of the 3 fillies. I'm going to take off those gags now,
Damn.
he said. The first one to hit a scream gets their tongue cut out. He took off Sweetie Belle.
Why is it vinyl?
She looked up at him with terror, but managed to stay quiet. Next was Scootaloo.
That is just
She
cool.
let out a strangled whine.
Vinyl's my favorite. Why would you show a picture of it?
Horrendous pain from her broken wing, but managed to resist the temptation.
Sorry, keep talking.
Next was Scootaloo. She let out a strangled whine and was breathing heavily, still in horrendous pain from her bag. She looked.
So, why vinyl? Vinyl is my favorite pony. My top 5 are, I can't remember exactly. Twilight, Luna, Fluttershy, Octavia, Rainbow Dash, then Vinyl. I know I said top 5, but it actually is, because Twilight is my 5th. Luna is my 4th. Fluttershy, my 3rd. Octavia, my 2nd. Rainbow Dash, my 1.5. And Vinyl's my top. Because Vinyl and Rainbow Dash had tie, and a few Vinyl videos have made Vinyl closer to breaking the tie, but they're still slightly tied.
Up at him with terror, but managed to stay quiet. Next was Scootaloo. She let out a strangled whine and was breathing heavily, still in horrendous pain from her broken wing, but managed to resist. Finally, he removed the gag from his sister Apple Bloom.
Crap.
She stared at him with her large, round eyes, filled with fear and
I forgot. That notification's gonna be going off every 5 minutes. It does that.
comprehension. This was Big Macintosh, after all. Her big brother and the gentlest of souls. Wasn't he?
Butt still hurts.
Surely this was a horrible joke. But she had seen what she had done to Scootaloo's wing. It was definitely no joke. She took a deep breath. Applejack! Big Macintosh shoved his hoof into Apple Bloom's mouth, silencing her scream. He sighed and shook his head. I told you not to.
Oh, now it does it.
You should listen to your big brother.
I'll scream and scream again, and Applejack will hear it.
Apple Bloom said flatteringly. You know, I kind of hope you do.
He's pretty good at this.
I still ain't forgiving Applejack for that emperor she gave me last apple bug season. If you want Applejack to join y'all down here, scream away. I, for one, would welcome her company. But now, to business. Big Macintosh picked up the knife
That's messed
He
up.
bent her down with a powerful hoof and stuck the knife into Apple Bloom's mouth. Sweetie Belle vomited at the sight, the thick yellow chunks and acidic-smelling liquid
Damn.
splattering heavily onto the floor. Scootaloo managed not to be sick, but rather gasped and sobbed and choked with panic. Big Macintosh forced open Apple Bloom's mouth and with some effort cut out her tongue. Apple Bloom tried to scream, but her mouth was too full of blood, so it was more of a muted gurgle. After a short while, she collapsed, tears streaming from her eyes, falling unconscious from the shock and the pain. Big Macintosh then took the tongue and rolled it in the puddle of putrid vomit on the floor. He smiled at Scootaloo. "You hungry?" Scootaloo shook her head vigorously and cast him a defiant glare.
If Rainbow Dash were here, she would kick the crap out of you, you maniac!
I'll show someone on this way I don't have to turn down.
Well, she ain't. And anyway, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Ow.
Rainbow Dash ain't as tough as she likes to make out. He shoved the vomit-covered tongue into Scootaloo's mouth and used his hoof to clap her mouth shut. "Don't you go trying to spit it out now," he said calmly, with a little laugh as the filly struggled and squirmed. "Did your mother ever tell you how important it is to chew your food?" Scootaloo closed her eyes and flapped her one good wing desperately, eventually swallowing Apple Bloom's tongue. Big Macintosh, still holding the writhing Scootaloo down with his strong hooves, then mounted the orange filly and slid his penis into her tight, virgin pussy, raping her for several minutes with Sweetie Belle,
I knew it.
trembling with revulsion.
I knew it.
Apple Bloom was still out cold, blood pouring from her torn-up mouth. "Cutie Mark Crusaders rape victims," Big Macintosh said with tender mockery as he
I knew it.
Scootaloo, followed by a gentle chuckle.
I just kept thinking it.
"Yes, y'all
Guess I was
have
right.
a purpose in life now. Your special talent is getting raped."
How much is left?
Eventually, he withdrew from Scootaloo and gripped her head
Alright.
tight and repeatedly punched her hard with a hoof in the face, causing her nose to shatter and spurt with blood. He scooped up some of the blood and some of Sweetie Belle's vomit with his tongue and held it in his mouth so that it mixed in with the saliva, then brought his mouth close to Scootaloo's and spat the rank mixture into her mouth. He clamped his hoof over her mouth and held her nose until she gagged and eventually had no choice but to swallow. As Scootaloo retched and spat and cried, he turned to Sweetie Belle. He grabbed her easily as she was too shocked and traumatized to respond, and with apparent amusement he rammed her horn up Scootaloo's ass. The horn was big and hard, so the skin around Scootaloo's ass ripped and blood and fecal matter first
Damn.
and then poured profusely down onto Sweetie Belle's face, as well as urine as Scootaloo pissed herself.
First I was thinking funny.
"Doing that, Sweetie
That's
Belle,"
just weird.
he said. The unicorn carried on, pushing her horn up Scootaloo's anus, slowly but surely. Her normal, well-groomed pink and purple mane was now stained a reddish-brown, glistening with the wetness of the piss and blood. "If you stop, I'll come over there and, get creative. I may seem a bit dense, but I'm actually quite a creative stallion," Big Macintosh said with a wink. "Yup." He went to Apple Bloom and penetrated his little sister's unconscious body with his hard cock. While he violated her, he got another knife, this one sharp and shiny, and sliced open her flank, causing her glistening intestines to flop out wetly onto the floor.
That's just wrong.
He glanced over and was pleased to see Sweetie Belle was still using her
That's just wrong, raping your sister.
horn to anally penetrate Scootaloo, and her face is now completely covered in blood and feces and urine. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying this in quite a big way. Anyways, this concludes part 1 of Sweet Apple Massacre. If you would like to see part 2, please click on the annotation located dead center upon Big Mac that just says, "Yup."
There's that notification again, and that was creepy. Well, it wasn't creepy, it was just weird. There's part 2, I'm about to make that in a sec. That was just so weird. At first, it was funny. Then it just got kind of weird. So I'm about to make part 2.